The Brainiac Corporation. Every day, a crack team of Britain's finest minds get to grips with the fundamentals of scientific knowledge and understanding.
Welcome.
So step inside, but prepare yourself for a bumpy ride as we embark on the worst excesses that are Brainiac Science Abuse.
Welcome to Brainiac, the science show with short-term memory loss. Welcome to Brainiac, the science show with short-term memory loss. Welcome to Brainiac.
The big science tonight. Can you cycle across custard? Can we turn a beach into glass? And we tried to launch a living room into space. Blast off! But first...
Dear John, an annoyingly geeky bloke down the pub says that if you drop an object onto an identical object, then they will both suffer exactly the same damage. But I'm convinced the object on the ground will be more damaged because it will get squashed. Please can you do an experiment because the geeky bloke down the pub is really getting my goat. That's from, hang on, Vic Reeves, Brainiac Corp. Vic, we were talking about this down the pub the other night.
Really? Well, talking's no good, John. I'm convinced that you're wrong, and I demand an experiment. You reckon that if you drop an object onto an identical object, it'll suffer identical damage?
Newton's third law states that every action has an opposite and equal reaction. So, for instance, bend down, Brainiac, you're far too tall.
On your knees.
If I drop this egg on the Brainiac's head, then it will impart a force to the surface of his head. But the head will also impart an equal and opposite force into the egg, which is what causes it to break.
Can I have a go?
Well, be my guest.
But you said that there have to be identical objects. Follow me. Look at this, John. 2 identical oil drums. And remember, scientists always use oil drums when arguing about the fundamental laws of nature. One steel oil barrel will be dropped 150 feet onto an identical barrel. John says they'll suffer equal damage, but I'm convinced the barrel on the ground will be crushed. Time to find out. 3, 2, 1. Release! Wow! It landed right next to it.
So, now we know gravity's working properly, the barrel is once again raised aloft to settle our argument.
3, 2, 1. Release!
Fantastic! Almost a direct hit.
Oh, there's not identical damage. What happened?
Look, here you can see that this barrel has hit on the edge of that barrel.
So what do we need to do, John?
Well, we need 2 identical objects, but with a far larger surface area so we can be sure of a direct hit.
I've got the very thing for me.
The classic Ford Orion, featuring groundbreaking safety features such as seat belts, door and roof. An identical car suspended upside down to form a mirror image will be dropped on it from 20 metres. Will John's theory hold true, or will common sense prevail and the blue car be smashed to smithereens?
Are you ready for this, John?
I am completely ready, Vic.
Good, so am I. 3, 2, 1. Oh, look, Look, John, look! The bottom car is more crushed, proving that I'm the king.
No, I think you're mistaken, Vic.
No, look.
No, because if you look through there, I think it's fallen slightly off centre. So it looks different from this side, but if we go round the other... Ha-ha! You see, the red car looks more crushed from this side. I think they've suffered completely equal damage, proving my point and Newton's third law. Diddy.
He can't dance, but I suppose he's right. If you drop an object onto an identical object, both will suffer identical damage. In the Brainiac slow motion facility, a small team are devoted to the remarkable line of research we call things, but very slowly. So what's today's thing, but very slowly? A soap bubble popping. Normally this isn't very interesting to watch. But let's see that again. Very slowly. Seen at 4,000 frames per second, the pin punctures the bubble, which then delicately unwraps along its own surface. The bubble is an elastic sheet of soap and water held together by surface tension. As the surface breaks, the tension is released and the elastic sphere snaps back, colliding with itself in a cloud of droplets. All this in 2/100ths of a second. A soap bubble popping. One more thing, but very slowly. At the end of a grueling day abusing science, our Brainiac indulges in a warm bowl of his most favoritist thing in the whole world, custard. As he drifts off, his tiny subconscious mind transports him to a magical world. A world of custard dreams. At the heart of his fantasy is a pool filled to the brim with custard. Thanks to the non-Newtonian properties of custard, Brainiac knows he can run, sack race, and dance on it. But not space hop across it. And if he doesn't keep moving, he will sink. But what method would the Brainiac attempt tonight? The bicycle. So this is it. One Brainiac against one pool of custard. Will he be able to cross it on two wheels?
Feel the non-Newtonian force, young Brainiac.
Disaster as the bike immediately sinks into the custard. Due to the wheels trying to roll across the surface, there was no impact, meaning the custard remained in its liquid state. But it was just a dream. Or was it? Next time, can Brainiac skip across custard?
Greetings, gas warriors, and welcome to my weekly webcast, the science phenomenon that is gasbangwallop.com, brought to you by me, Barry Bernard, and my lovely companion there behind the camera, it's Clive. And let's see what the gas is meeting this week. Oh no!
It's Clive's granddad's favourite armchair. Sadly, he won't be needing it anymore. He's bought a recliner.
Let's go, gas tonic. Come on. Out of the way, Clive, let me do that thing with the ripples. I love it. Now out of my way. This armchair is soon to become an ejector seat. And it's all thanks to the gases that lurk within this balloon. 2 secret gases. I'm afraid I can't let you know what they are, but the one that's not oxygen is propane. Right, the gas is in place. I have the fuse in my hand. Prepare to witness the awesome power and beauty of gas. Leggy, Clive. Boom. Come on, have you got me in? That was totally gasbangwallop.com.
Professor Mayang Lee, bringing beauty as well as brains to the world of Brainiac. Recently, the prof has turned her attentions to the field of fluid dynamics, finding out which objects disappear down the toilet when she flushes. So, what's inside Mayang Lee's clam this week? A ball of wool. A bundle of old sheep's hair that your granny might use to knit you a tasteful jumper. But how will it fare in the bottom of Mayang's toilet with 20 litres of water gushing down upon it? Will it flush or float? It's a flusher! The absorbent wool soaked up so much water that it was easily dragged down by the force of the flush. Thanks, Prof. Nice clam. In a galaxy far, far away, just off the M25, lies the Brainiac Space Center, boldly pushing the boundaries of rocket science because there's some stuff NASA never tried.
Gary here is never more content than when he's sitting in his favourite chair and watching his favourite programme on his 40-inch flat-screen plasma TV. Now, everyone knows that space shuttles are too cramped, too uncomfortable, and lack a decent inbuilt entertainment system. So, can we send a man into space in the luxury of his own sitting room?
We've attached rockets all over Gary's lounge. When ignited, they'll release over half a ton of thrust in just 1 second.
This should propel man, chair, television and lamp in perfect synchronicity, so he can continue watching his television until he reaches his space station, somewhere up there. The world's first rocket-powered living room. NASA never tried this. Okay, Brainiacs? Clear the launch pad. Take off in T-minus several seconds. And now time for those all-important final checks. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off!
The combination of polyethylene and nitrous oxide in the rockets ensured the whole lounge took off in complete harmony and with incredible power. I wasn't scared, although I did see a tasty biscuit on the floor, which I had to pick up.
Well, there you are. As you can see, the mission was a complete success. Gary went all the way up to his space station, which is about 200 feet up there. He was fully entertained on the way up and came back down entirely relaxed, as I think you'll agree. So can I have the results, please? Thank you. So when man eventually settles down comfortably on Uranus, you can't say that the Brainiac rocket scientists didn't have a bit to do with that. Take that to NASA.
cow horn, so called because it's made from the horn of a bull. There's only one possible tune you can play on it. But can it be made more fun with helium, the party gas? Helium, making blowing through the severed part of a dead animal fun again. That's right.
I love hard things.
10 hard things brought in by 10 viewers will face Tyler's 3 hardness tests. 1 ton of bricks, 1 angle grinder, and 1 pot of thermite in a bid to top Tyler's hard ranker leaderboard.
Today's very hard thing has been brought in by Simon from Colchester. Hello, Simon.
Hello, Tyler.
How hard is your thing?
Very hard.
Right, let's have a look at it then, shall we? It looks pretty hard. What is it?
It's my helmet, Tyler.
Does it have a Kevlar reinforced outer shell and an expanded polypropylene foam in a liner? It might look hard, but just how hard is it?
The first test is an impact from a ton of bricks.
Get 'em up, boys!
The crash helmet is designed to withstand sudden impact, but is it prepared for being hit by a ton of bricks from 30 metres?
In 3, 2, 1, release!
In the blink of an eye, the crash helmet disappears under the brick onslaught. It's shattered beyond recognition and scores a paltry hardness rating of 1 out of 10.
Less of a crash helmet and more of a crushed helmet.
Will it fare any better with my 9-inch angle grinder?
Brainiac, grind away.
The helmet's poor run continues, putting up no resistance to the angle grinder, giving it an awful abrasion rating of 1 out of 10.
Take it to the thermite. The remains of the crash helmet are sitting beneath my pot of thermite.
Will the helmet finally put up a fight? The crash helmet is continuing its run of bad form, acting as nothing more than kindling when faced with the power of thermite, giving it a terrible heat resistance rating of 2 out of 10. The crash helmet scored a pathetic total of 4 points, putting it rock bottom of the hard ranker.
How hard do I rank it? Feeble. How hard is your thing?
Next time, how hard is a radiator?
Come in. Stand over there for me, please. Right, Mr. Tickle, what can we do for you today?
Nurse, I'm bored. Can you show me something interesting that I can do with my body, please?
Certainly, try this. Please put this glove on.
Okay.
Now put your hand in this bucket of water.
Okay.
What does your hand feel like?
Well, it's quite strange. It feels all wet.
The sensation of wetness is the feeling of cold combined with the water pressing against the hand. Both the cold and the pressure are felt through the glove, meaning that the hand feels wet.
Now look at your hand.
Well, it's completely dry. That's amazing. Thanks, nurse. That'll keep me amused for hours.
Not at all. Goodbye, Mr. Tickle.
Goodbye.
There are some experiments that can't be done in a lab. They have to be done undercover. Today's experiment requires a man with tight clothes and one salami sausage, carefully positioned. So who looks at a man's lunchbox more? Is it women or other men? Medical studies estimate that the average size of the human penis is between 5 and 7 inches long when thrilled. So with a 12-inch sausage in his shorts, it's no surprise our cyclist immediately attracts attention. In the animal kingdom, the human male genitalia is larger than average, with gorillas and chimps only 2 to 3 inches long. Some scientists believe this is because of evolution, thanks in part to women, and that over thousands of generations, females have selectively chosen a mate for his larger lunchbox. It's only recently, however, that they've insisted on photographing it as well. Man's obsession with his own private parts dates back just as far, with Stone Age men comparing length in order to determine their social standing within the tribe. And with his positively presidential-sized protrusion, our cyclist is not short of male fans. After 1 hour of adding up admirers, it's official. Women look at a man's lunchbox more than men do. But only just. The stick insect, master of disguise, thanks to stick-like features and the ability to change colour to suit its surroundings. The Brainiac stands out from any crowd thanks to hideous features and terrible body odour. Today we find out who is the cardinal of camouflage, Brainiac or Beast. Brainiac and Stick Insect are going to camouflage themselves in their woodland settings. These 3 eagle-eyed observers are going to take it in turns to try and spot the 2 camouflaged competitors. The contestant spotted first loses in a best-of-3 rounds contest. Round 1, and our first spotter is Edna from Macclesfield. How long will it take her to spot the Stick Insect? When you take into account Edna's dodgy eyesight and the fact that the Stick Insect looks very much like a stick, we could be here for a while.
No, that one. Yeah, that's the one. Hey, found him.
Time taken, 13 seconds. Let's see how she gets on with the Brainiac.
There he is. He's hiding in the grass. I've found you.
Busted in just 5 seconds. Round 1 to the Stick Insect. Our contestants have found themselves new positions for round 2, and this time it's Henry's turn to spot them. Which will he find first? Whilst the Stick Insect is obviously used to sitting still, the Brainiac is struggling to resist the temptation to pick the weeping sores which blight his person.
I think I could see him. Yeah, that's him. I've got him.
The Stick Insect wasn't quite stickish enough, but the Brainiac blended in brilliantly with that tree. Round 2 to the Brainiac, and it's 1-all. So it's the decider. Our contestants prepare themselves whilst Desiree assumes the spotting position. The heat is really on now.
I see him. He's in the ferns. There he is.
It's all over. The Brainiac failed to blend in with the shrubbery and stuck out more than his belly does over that thong. It's 2-1, and the winner of this week's Brainiac v Beast is Beast. When it comes to hiding, it's better to look like a stick than a plank.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Chemistry Deathmatch!
the last time, Kilcoyne's Flash levelled the scores at 2-all. But now, who can produce the best volcano?
Gentlemen, I want a good, clean fight. Now return to your corners and prepare your chemicals.
Bunhead there using a mixture of iron filings and potassium nitrate, or KNO3, and there it is right there. Kilcoyne with just a single chemical, that's ammonium dichromate powder. A hell of a formula, that one.
Professor, please produce your volcano.
Kilcoyne heats his pile. And oh, look at that! Krakatoa! The ammonium dichromate decomposes, giving off nitrogen gas and an incredibly realistic volcano effect, complete with cinder cone. Smashing.
Bunhead, please produce your volcano.
And there's Bunhead lighting using a sparkler. But will his volcano outshine the Professor's? By Vesuvius! The potassium nitrate violently oxidizes the iron filings, creating a sparking fountain of fire. It's showy, but is it a match for Kilcoyne's lifelike eruption? Let's go to the judges. It's a split decision for Kilcoyne. Next time, it's the best smoke. Good night.
This is what my body does.
Hello, my name's China, and the thing what my body does is...
The joints of the arms and hands have been carefully designed by nature to stop us looking weird, which is why you should pray this never happens to you. Unless, of course, you've got an ugly vicar.
Food, an essential fuel to keep our bodies functioning. It may be sweet, it may be sour, or it may be sickly. But which is the sickliest food?
Down at the lab are 5 brainiacs with 5 of the sickliest foods known to man. Mayonnaise, yeast extract, butter, jelly deals, and honey. But which is the sickliest?
Brainiacs, begin eating.
The race is on to eat 1 kilogram of nauseating nosh. The one that takes the longest to eat due to its bilious nature will be crowned the sickliest. Buckets are at the ready should sick levels reach vomit-inducing proportions. And already, the jelly deals are having the desired effect. Invented by Cockneys, this East End favourite is made by stewing eels and allowing them to set in their own juices. The resulting fishy and slimy yet chewy mixture is sending this brainiac's stomach into a spin. Out in front is mayonnaise, the creamy combination of egg yolk, oil and vinegar sliding down with only a few minor hiccups. Close behind is yeast extract. But this food is 1/10 salt and it's sucking the moisture right out of his mouth. Just as sickly, but of the sugary variety, is honey. He's not doing badly, but this brainiac can't afford to be filling his jar. Bringing up the rear are the 2 hot favourites. Too much fatty food will make you sick, and butter is virtually all fat. He's stuffing it in, but these greasy bricks just don't want to stay down. And whilst mayonnaise finishes, closely followed by honey and yeast extract, it's down to just 2 nauseating nibbles. It's a barf bonanza as both brainiacs try to overcome their body's natural desire to hurl. And butter crosses the line, leaving the jelly deal brainiac to stew in his own juices.
The winner and the most sickly food is jelly deals.
So, there you have the most sickly food, jelly deals. Given to us by Cockneys along with the Crave twins and Chaz and Dave. God love 'em. In our quest for more microwave knowledge, we've upgraded. Our new one is almost as big as a man. See? Hey, you!
Stop! The following experiment is dangerous. Do not try this at home. For pity's sake.
What would happen if you put a plate full of marshmallows into a big microwave? Not forgetting to put it on full power and get out of there as fast as your legs will carry you. But what will happen next? Will the marshmallows A, expand, B, burn, or C, radio waves? The answer, A, they expand dramatically. Marshmallows are filled with pockets of air which expand when heated, causing the marshmallow to grow. At the same time, the marshmallow's springy structure is completely destroyed, so when the air inside cools down, the pockets collapse and the marshmallows are no more. We do these experiments so you don't have to. Do not try this at home.
We've tricked a variety of acts into auditioning for a new talent show to find out if they can still perform while receiving electric shocks. After applying high voltage pads to today's auditionee, it's time to say hello. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name's Chris Byler, and this is Charlie.
And what are you doing for us today?
Ventriloquism.
Off you go.
Thank you very much, Anita. How are you feeling?
I'm all right now.
Ventriloquism is a tried and tested routine, but what we're trying and testing is the effect of powerful electric shocks.
I went to the doctor's on Thursday.
What's he said?
He told me I've got something wrong.
What? And have you got wrong with you?
I've got hereditary diabetes.
Whoa!
Well, who's working who?
His cries of pain mean he can no longer throw his voice, and the convulsions stop him from being able to control his little friend, rendering him completely useless.
Yes.
Is it only... Oh! Very well.
No.
Ventriloquism, another act you can't perform while being shocked with electricity.
That was great, thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Next time, we zap this balloonatic.
Ah! No!
The British beach holiday. A fun day out for the whole family. There's something that ruins this otherwise perfect scene. Sand. It gets in between the toes and into the sandwiches of a nation. But today we turn the tables on sand. Can we find anything hot enough to turn a beach into glass? Sand is usually turned into glass by being furnaced at ferociously high temperatures, but sadly, local bylaws prevent us from going to beaches and torching them. So, we've brought the beaches here to Surrey, where, quite frankly, anything goes. We've shipped in the sand from 3 exotic UK resorts.
The main constituent of sand is silica, and it's the melting of silica that makes glass. Our first highly scientific attempt to melt the sand will involve an explosive and a bag of petrol.
Beach barbecue in 3, 2, 1.
Beauty fuel! Petrol burns at 560 degrees, but will that be enough to melt sand?
It's turned it into a kind of beach volcano.
There's plenty of residue, but my investigation prong can find no glass. So it's on to our next holiday resort, which is due a nice heat wave.
And I've got just the tool to do it with, this little beauty. Burn!
What a scorcher! Flamethrowers burn at nearly 2,000 degrees. I'm hoping the sustained torching of the sand will build up furnace-like temperatures. But will they reach the 2,300 degree melting point of silica? A palm tree's pushing up daisies, the buckets kick the bucket, but my analysing product can only detect some mild surface scorching.
I think we need something a lot hotter.
So we're going to one of the hottest places on the planet.
Whitley Bay is the only Ponzi resort in the northeast.
Our heat source this time will be thermite, which burns at a staggering 2,500 degrees Celsius. And to give us the best possible chance from the Whitley Bay Children's Beach, some ultra-fine silica-rich sandpit sand.
That's the sand. In position. I'm going to light the ignition prong, insert into the thermite and stand well back.
Glass was discovered around 1,000 years BC when some sailors were cooking their meals on the beach. We've done our best to recreate that legendary barbecue with the extreme heat of molten metal. The ball of slag is surrounded with a crusty substance, but have we made glass?
What's in this bit? What's that in there? Yes! Yes, indeed! That, my friends, is glass. Nice, shiny bit of green glass.
We may not be able to turn a whole beach into glass, but with enough thermite and half a dozen children's sand pits, we might just manage a fetching paperweight. 47-second science. Big science questions answered in bite-sized chunks. This week, how fat do you need to be before a bath uses the same amount of water as a shower? To find out, we're using this 85-kilogram Brainiac and some lard. First, we fill a bath with 30 litres of water, as used in the average shower. Then our Brainiac climbs in and we load him up with pig fat. The principle of water displacement states that the more lard we add, the higher the water gets, until it reaches the international standard level for bath water. The lard is stuffed into every crevice of his bathing suit to ensure the fat spreads evenly around the body, just like a genuine salad dodger. Finally, the bath is full. 131 kilograms of lard plus 85 kilos of Brainiac means that a bath uses the same amount of water as a shower once you weigh over 216 kilograms or 34 stone. 47-second science. Big science questions answered in bite-sized chunks.
Brainiac. Brainiac.
Hello! It's liquid oxygen time now. Liquid oxygen is very special. However, lads, it's time for sherbet. Ursula, please bring the sherbet. Here is my beautiful Ursula. Someday, Ursula will visit me in my complex and see my collection of miniature toadstools. But in meantime, I must destroy Sherbet Fountain. So sorry. Thank you, my love. First, we see how sherbet burns with ordinary oxygen and air. It simply crisps up like pig at orphan's Christmas party. But what happens when sherbet meets liquid oxygen? Placed in hole in boulder made by army woodpecker. Ursula, please bring ignition device. See now, ignition. Sherbet, good fuel for fat Western children. But liquid oxygen make burn so quick, and now good fuel for explosion. Boulder crack open like egg of giant stone eagle of legend. Liquid oxygen is a miracle.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stars in Their Caravans. with your hosts, Dolly Boy and Dolly Girl. We've trapped a selection of celebrities in 10 shabby caravans. The desperate stars can only leave when their name is randomly selected and their caravan destroyed. It's week 5. Abby Titmus has found the word dictionary in her dictionary and is worried about the philosophical implications of a book defining its own existence. But it's time to select a celeb. And who will the Ofcom regulated arrow of destiny choose today? Well, fancy that! Tough luck, Titmus. Knock, knock, Anthony Worrell Thompson. We're letting you go, just as soon as you've played long fuse, short fuse. Wazza, inside your caravan is one of your treasured possessions. Would you like to tell us what it is?
It's a ship's portal drinks cabinet. It's fantastic.
Well, your drinks cabinet is sitting next to Super Brainiac's black powder. We're about to ask you a science question. Get it right and we'll light the long fuse, giving you a chance to save your cabinet. Get it wrong, and it's the short fuse and bye-bye booze. Okay, here's your science question, Wazza. What is the definition of pi?
Ah, that's easy. It's the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter, commonly expressed to 3 decimal places in 3.142.
Is incorrect. As any chef should know, the definition of pie is a baked food having a filling of fruit, meat or pudding topped with a pastry crust. Better get out of there, Wazza. The fuse is already lit. Uh-oh. What's this? The crazy chef's going back for his drinks cabinet. But the fuse is too short. Be careful you don't drop it. Alcohol is very flammable, you know. Cordon bleu! It's a calamity! Wazza is ready, steady, cooked in a mix of charcoal, sulfur and potassium nitrate, and gin. It's a tragic day for the world of culinary cuisine, because Wazza somehow survived. Sadly, the drinks cabinet is still missing, but unlike our other celebrities, at least Wazza is free to go.
Thanks, Brainiac.
No, thank you for playing stars in their caravans.